And so we're going to get started with that. Let's see, okay. So we're going to need another counter. We're just going to start it at 0. Actually, let's see. Yeah, that's right. But we're just going to name it count. Because it's not item anymore, it's just a counter. Okay. While we're going to do a similar thing here. While the items array has items in it, we're gonna store those values. So while items name plus count. Oops. Okay, I messed up. That's supposed to do it in the brackets. Plus count is, let's see, is not equal to null, or, and for when you're doing conditions like this, you can do that sign right there, 2 of these straight up things, and it means or. So we're just gonna make sure that it's not undefined or null. Just gonna put that in there. Just change this to undefined. So if it's not null or undefined, then we're gonna go ahead and do something with the data. And what we're just doing is we're just checking to see if anything was stored in right here, right? We're making sure that that it actually has some data. If it doesn't have any, then that means they probably had the wrong kit, or the server admin didn't set up the kit right. Okay, so now we can actually add these items to the player inventory. So to do that, you just do player, and you get the player object, then you do inventory to access their inventory. And we're gonna add item, and we're just gonna add the data from that from this items array. So we're going to do items, item name, plus count, that's just coming from our counter, and items, item count, or item amount, plus count. I think that's it for that. So yeah, the add item function has 2 arguments: the item name and the item amount. And we're just doing a while loop and counting. So we're gonna do while we're inside this while loop. If you don't have a counter or a condition to get out of the loop, you're gonna have an infinite loop. So you need to make sure that you add +1 to the counter every time. So let's see, and we're also going to do player.message, and we're just going to let them know which items they got. Just the same thing here. This isn't required, but yeah. So what this is going to do is it's going to add each item and the item amount, and it's going to store the item to their inventory. Then it's going to tell them which item they got and the amount that they got inside of their kit. So I think we're close to being done with this. Okay, and another thing is if count is greater than 0, we're going to return true. Else, we're going to return false, and I'll explain this. Okay, so if count's greater than 0, that means that there were items in the kit, right? So if there's items in the kit, we're going to return true. If there's if the count is less than 1, we're going to return false, meaning that no items were given to the player. And that'll help us out later when we're trying to determine if that kit was actually a real kit or not, if there was any items in the kit. Alright, so now we can go back up to the get kit. I'm just going to explain this too. So when they type in get kit, it's going to get kit, pass the player object, all the information about the player. It's going to pass the string that they put in, the kit name. We're going to it's gonna come down here to this. It's gonna pass through the two arguments. We're gonna make a items array. We're gonna write a function that gets the item spores from the kit. And remember, we put in a kit ID, so it's gonna come down here. We make a kit array. We make a count item variable set to 0, and while there are items within the config file for that kit ID, we're going to store the item name plus the count, and we're gonna get the data from the config file. So this right here, in the case of count being 0, it's gonna grab this. If the kit ID is MP5A4, it's gonna grab MP5A4, and this will grab the amount. So item amount in the case of 0 is 1. So you get 1 MP5A4. Okay, when we return items, so it's going to come up here, it's going to store all that information to this items array. We're going to make a new counter, set it to 0, just so we know, so we can loop through all the items within the item array. We're going to, while there's item names in the items array, we're going to add those items to the player's inventory. So item name and item amount. And we're going to tell that player what they got. So item name, item amount. And we're going to count through each time right here. So it's going to go in a circle over and over. So once it's done, once it gets to a point where there are no more item names, it's going to be equal to null. We're going to exit out of this while loop. We're going to come down here. If the count is greater than 0, so if there's anything inside of that kit, it's going to return true. If not, it's going to return false. So that leads us back up here to get kit. So I'm going to stop the tutorial right here. This is probably my time limit. So thanks for watching. In the next tutorial, we're going to do some. We're going to use this information. Just remember, this is going to be actually a variable now. And this is either going to be true or false kit, whether they got the kit or not. We're going to need to set up a cooldown, so we're going to do that, and we'll also set up a way for the user to display what's in the kits and view all the kits as well. So we'll cover all that in the next tutorials. But thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time.